All right, so to get more customers, biggest thing, single biggest thing that you need to get customers, you know, well, some people would say well, Chris, to get customers, I just got to be ranked at the top of Google. Okay, cool. Like you rank at the top of Google, people call you, you get customers, or you go to ChatGPT and you put something in, and the OpenAI robot says, oh, this company is so great, you should contact them. Like, okay, cool, that's how you get customers, but how do you get there? Like, okay, so how do you get to the top of Google nowadays? How do you win in Google? How do you get better rankings in Google? How do you get better visibility in with the AI? How do you do a better job of persuading the AI to recommend you to customers? And I think the single biggest thing out there right now that's most important is you need a differentiator. By that, I mean you need to be doing something different than your competitors are doing, and not something that's junk. You don't want to be doing something differently that's stupid. you don't want to be you don't want to be being different just for the sake of being different. You want to be different, but you want to be effective, if that makes any sense. Like you want to do both of those things. You don't want to be just uh doing something very random and saying like, "Oh, nobody else is doing this, so therefore it's going to win out." Like you want to be doing something that's different, but something that Google and the AI likes. The reason why I think this it's such a big deal to talk about, because you have all these AI tools that are out there, you have all these website tools that are out there, and you think like, oh, SEO is going to be easy. Like you just have the AI do it, you have the robot do it, and boom, SEO done just like that. But it's not so simple, because the main problem for SEO still exists, and that's the lack of real estate in Google, and also the lack of real estate that you have in the AI platforms. And funny enough, the AI platforms actually have less real estate. If you do a search in the Chat GPT, for example, and you're like, "Hey, I need to get my car fixed. Can you recommend some companies? Who's the best specialist when it comes to like fixing, some sort of electrical error that you have going on in your car? Like, who's the best expert for it?" The Chat GPT or Claude or whatever, they're not going to be like, oh, here's 15 different websites. Like, unless you ask, you might go to Claude and be like, hey, I want to be like traditional here. Like, give me 15 different companies that could help me fix the electrical issues in my car. Most people aren't going to do that. So therefore, ChatGPT might serve out like four, maybe even three, maybe five. But we're talking like less companies than Google, like less than the first page of Google. So we're talking like only a few winners here. We're like, the truth with search engine optimization and internet marketing is you have a lot of people that do all the work. I'm sure most of them are nice people, and they're doing the work that they're supposed to be doing. But the reality is that you only have a few winners. You only have a few companies that are out there that do the work, and people that do the work and do what they're supposed to do, and then actually are able to harvest the fruit there, where the work bears fruit. Most people don't. You do the work. That's why I talk to so many people, and they're like, "This SEO stuff, Chris, it just doesn't work. I've worked with all these companies and worked with all these people, and it never works." And it's because you just don't have many winners, because everybody wants to be at the top of Google, but you only have a few spots. So that all being said, with the AI, everybody's going to have Claude. Everybody's going to have ChatGPT. Everybody has access to Google. Everybody has access to the stuff. So how can you expect to get different results versus you know ABC Towing or Jack's Towing? Like why is your towing company going to succeed whereas like others aren't? You're using the same tools that they are. Like, what makes you different? And that's again, you need the differentiator. You need to be doing something different that most of your competition's not doing. And I think the secret sauce when it comes to that in terms of like the differentiator, which would probably be a separate video. I think the home runs are really going to be figuring out getting very granular and detailed in terms of the best types of customers to go after and being very detailed with keywords and figuring out what the target and targeting certain things that other people are not targeting. And then it turns out that lots of customers do search for those types of keywords, and those types of keywords represent those customers, and then they become customers, if that makes sense. But overall, you're going to need to be doing things differently. Everybody's going to have these tools, everybody's going to be brilliant with these AI tools, but you still got to do something different.